Great deal of pleasure. I'd like to welcome to the podium as our first speaker this morning, 2nd District Supervisor Sup Tavaglione. John.
You want to leave your sunglasses for me?
That's okay.
Wow. All I can say is to all of you who are here today, just thank you so very much for being here for this grand opening. This is a project that has been, wow. I get emotional when I think about how long these projects take. You know, in government we cry because it takes so damn long. But literally 16 years ago, roughly a little over, about 16 years ago, we did a tour of the Robidoux area in Harupa Valley and said we need to do things differently in terms of redevelopment. And we knew that that was a mechanism to allow us to rebuild this community. We took a year, literally a year, to merge the 4 redevelopment projects because as 4 separate projects, they didn't allow us to do what we needed to do the way they were structured. And so we merged all 4 and added some acreage. And all the great projects that you see today are a result of redevelopment. And your community, redevelopment gets a bad rap in the state of California. In fact, the state tries to take our money from us. They're wanting to take our redevelopment money because they don't like what we were able to do with your money to put back into the community. And I'm so thankful that we've been able to preserve these projects and build these projects on your behalf because it's your money and they're projects for you, the community. This project, from the time we finally got redevelopment underway and we toured the old Robidoux Library, I told staff, I said, this is a library we need to replace. It was a nice library. It was serving a wonderful purpose, but it was too small, it wasn't properly located, and we needed to build a new facility. And literally it's gone through 3 librarians in the last 10 years when we finally got it underway. 3 librarians, and they're all here. Gary Christmas, where's Gary? Yeah. Gary? I met Gary. I'm going to take a little time this morning because this is such a spectacular project. I want everybody to be recognized. I met Gary right after I took office. We had the grand opening for the Melba Dunlap Library. Melba was my predecessor on the Board of Supervisors, and she has a beautiful library out there in Glen Avon, and Gary was a librarian there. He's since moved on to become one of our chief executives in the county administrative office, and he's retiring next week. We're going to miss him, but he's going to go on to work with LSSI. That's the private library foundation that helps run our libraries, and he's going to go on working for them as a consultant. After Gary got promoted to the executive office, we hired Nancy Johnson as our librarian. I know Nancy's here. Nancy, congratulations. We train them and they move on. Nancy moved on, and we now have Tanya Keenan. And where's Tanya? And I have not met Tanya. Hi, Tanya. So we're leaving a wonderful facility to some great people to operate at LSSI and through the County of Riverside funding. And with Tanya, congratulations. I look forward to meeting you formally in a moment. 3 generations of librarians, 10 years in the making, and actually 3 redevelopment directors. We have a lot of movement at the county. This project is, as I said, the Louis Robidoux Library. It's 40,000 square feet. I even haven't had the opportunity to go through it completely yet, but it's just absolutely tremendous. The library itself is 22,312 square feet, which includes a 16,820 square feet of administrative offices. It sits here on 5 acres. Who would have believed you could put such a beautiful facility here on, what was this here? An old service station, I think. The library will include study rooms, computer education, a literacy center, community meeting rooms, and it will provide 70,000 books and audiovisual volumes on site. It has 20 internet workstations and computer stations, and I'm sure that will expand over time. And the total project budget that we put forth on this was $13.5 million. And I just can't say enough about the design. Steve Crow, where's Steve? Steve Crow and his architectural firm designed this. We thank you, Steve. The individuals from EDA, I mentioned Rob Field, our director, his assistant or deputy director, Dan Martinez, and his lovely wife, Anna. Before I forget, I have to introduce my wife, Jan. and my staff, Karen Christensen, and I saw Donna Johnson back there, and just a very good friend of mine, Louise Masaki. I know Louise is here. Thank you so much. There are three people that really took the ball and went with it to build this project. These are all just great, wonderful employees and friends with our Economic Development Agency. Gloria Perez, where's Gloria? Gloria, thank you. Delia Flores. Delia, there's Delia. And then Janet Parks. Where's Janet? Is she here? No? Janet is the one that works for our Economic Development Agency. Actually goes out, and these pieces of property had to be acquired, and it takes a long time to acquire these projects because you have to go through a very critical period of processing, and I really appreciate the leadership of Janet. And then, of course, the Friends of the Library. And I'm only going to introduce two today because I know they're going to come up and speak, but these are the individuals that really dedicate their time, their volunteer hours to the community and to the library system here in the community. When we were going through the design stages, I had a knock on my door and it got a little scolding because I said, "You're not doing this right, John. You need to add this little facility here." And I said, okay. And that was Kathy Barnes, and I so much appreciate Kathy. Kathy Barnes and Dorothy Brown. Where's Dorothy? Dorothy. You know, you wouldn't have these facilities. Yeah, we can put all the money in the world after these facilities, but you wouldn't have these facilities without the volunteers. And by the way, this week is Volunteer Appreciation Week. You wouldn't have these without the volunteers and their dedication to the community and their input. This facility is what it is today because of their input. We thank you very much for all of that. And of course, this library is named the Robidoux Library. And I know we have the Robidoux family here. And I'm going to ask you all to stand, if you could. The Louis Robidoux family. Thank you so much. What a true legacy for Louis Robidoux. I'm saying it right, Robidoux. Some people say Robidoux, you know. Living here all your life, they say Robidoux. I'm always correcting them. I know it's Robidoux. Your family has obviously done so much for this community, and we thank you so very much for your dedication and the legacy that your forefathers have left here in the community. Thank you very much. You know, we just lost one of my predecessors as well, Supervisor Don Schroeder, who preceded Melba Dunlap. Don passed away last week. It's about 85, 86, I'm not sure, but fortunately he went without pain and just lived down the street here, and he too started the balls rolling to get this community up where it is today, and we're very thankful that we dedicated the Family Care Center down the street in his name, and that will last on in his legacy. So with that, I just want to thank you all for being here for this beautiful facility grand opening. This is to serve you for decades in the future. And we thank you all for your dedication to this community, and just use the best that you can in this library day in and day out. Thank you very, very much.